What was your history with the Addams Family?
Very little.
Just the
I think I've seen the movie. I might have caught a couple episodes of the TV show, but very little.
I remember loving the concept of the movies,
Mhm.
but that thing happened where they were just a little too edgy for me at that age.
Okay.
And so they made me feel weird.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't, when she goes to burn Harmony at the stake or whatever. I remember being really
Mercedes McNabb.
Yeah. I was really stressed. I was upset by that.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Wednesday.
Woo!
The Netflix show.
Season 1, Episode 1, Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe.
This show has everything.
It does.
We were gonna just watch the whole thing and then talk about it at the end. And when I got here, I was like, how do you want to do it? And you were like,
So I watched 5.5 episodes this morning and I was like, shit. I was like, he's gonna really want to talk about each one.
I love this. It is Tim Burton, which I either didn't know or forgot.
Well, so I think he's producing the whole thing, and he also directed the first 4 episodes. Mm-hmm. And Danny Elfman is doing all the music as well.
You know, there's a lot of talk about Tim Burton these days and whether or not he's past his prime, yada, yada. I don't know that I would ever consider this prime, but what I'm going to say is based on the first episode, I'm digging this. I've always liked Tim Burton a little more whimsical, and this show has a relationship with color.
It's whimsical.
It's very pretty. Immediately, you had me at Nancy Reagan, let's be honest.
Well, that even doesn't even last for but 2 minutes. But
it was that tone, setting that tone.
But that's the other thing too. I was the minute that I saw Enid, Wednesday's roommate, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, there's Will's favorite character. She gets more to do going forward too.
No, it's so vivid. This is my perfect, ideal version of CG special effects. That shot of Wednesday and Enid standing on the balcony.
Yeah.
And it was the digital vista. And it was just the perfect amount of fake, the perfect amount of artificial. I love it. The colors are really blown out in this way, considering that Wednesday is a monochromatic,
she's a white and black bitch.
It's surprising me how much color there is. I love that. Because you even said you were like, it gets a little group hoppery when Enid's showing her the
ropes of the school, yeah.
And it was sort of anytime that YA skewing shows throw a lot of jargon at me, I'm very hesitant.
When I grow up, I want to be a Freelander.
But you can't. You were born a circumscriber, and you always will be.
But what if I wasn't?
You're right. You're not. And I love you.
Dope.
However, this already had me looped in spades.
Well, it also, they don't keep going around being the scales are up to blah, blah, blah. It's not like that.
Well, so the plot is that Wednesday apparently is a troublemaker. And big Louise energy. Big Louise from
Louise
Bob's
Belcher.
Burgers. I can get her. Gross. She's been bouncing around from school to school because she keeps almost murdering people. Or maybe murdering them. They're unclear so far on that.
Nobody died. The kid in the pool lost a testicle, which she thinks did the world a favor.
No, I know. But later they said something about how she killed those 2 kids and her parents just pulled strings.
That was just a rumor.
Okay.
That had been going through the rumor mill.
Well, also, and her father also maybe has killed somebody. So there's a mystery. A lot happened.
There's more than one mystery
going on.
There's more than one mystery going.
There is. So she was protecting her brother from bullies who were on the water polo team, high school.
Nancy Reagan High School? Yeah. There's a water polo team.
So she puts, I thought she was going to throw a toaster in it, but she puts piranhas in the water. Very funny. It's TV 14. I am appreciating this show's relationship with shock and violence because it's not overdone. But there's a handful of moments where you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like when the water turned red, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. So they send her her parents take her to Nevermore, which is the school they went to, which is like it's a boarding school. It's like a Hogwarty type, but
Miss
more,
Peregrine's.
more mischievous, it seems.
Mhm. They also like, spoiler alert, there are no classes.
Oh,
they're like sitting in a classroom experience like twice so far. It's very funny.
The headmistress is Gwendolyn Christie.
Incredible.
What is her name? I don't quite have.
Principal Larissa Weems.
I'm not sure. I feel like it kind of had to have been a thing, but she's in like full blown Tippi Hedren, The Birds. She just like, she's so amazing. I love that she has become such a genre queen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Sandman, Hunger Games, like she's just sort of been.
She also shares a lot of scenes with Christina Ricci, and it's hilarious. So funny.
Well, and I love that because they are sort of depicting her like a babe here,
Mm-hmm.
and I do love that.
I mean, she's stunning. She was also like
She has a
runway model.
She has a thing.
Yeah.
She has a thing. So obviously Wednesday doesn't want to be there because she's a troublemaker, and
well, she also thinks her parents are like trying to turn her into them. So she's like pushing back on it because of that. She's got a real teen girl thing going with Morticia.
It's Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman. I was very unsold on Luis Guzman. He's doing it. I didn't think he was handsome enough. I think Raul.
I get you because Raul Julia is a babe, but
he's weird looking.
Yeah, I just love Luis Guzman so much.
And you do sort of get the sense for both of them that they're not 28 anymore.
Right.
So, I love Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I just like, there's just something about her that I guess I have to say that Angelica owns the role.
Yes, yeah.
But Catherine's holding a candle.
She's doing really well, and if I have to be honest, this is one of the roles I've enjoyed her in the most that I've seen.
'Cause you're hit or miss with her.
I am hit or miss with her because there are things like Chicago and but like that, and then High Fidelity, where I'm like, I just feel like that's who she is as a person.
She's more voluptuous.
Yeah.
Where I think Angelica Houston, obviously,
willowy.
She's a sex pot, obviously, but yeah, Morticia, especially from the comic, the initial comic, she was more bony.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like the detailing that they're doing on the dresses. And according to this season on Wednesday preview, she does have more than just one black dress, which anyone who knows me knows I'm a stickler for that.
They're all very similar silhouette and everything, but they're different. And she's doing the walk really cool, where like she's doing it really slow and deliberate, so it almost looks like she's just sort of gliding,
it's like the Martian,
like the Martian,
the Martian
Mars
woman.
Attacks, yeah.
But no, they are good together. They sold me. We do have Thing. I'm impressed. You said he's great.
He's great.
You've seen him a little bit more than me.
Okay, at one point for a scene, he gets an accessory, and that's all I'm going to say for now. It's very fun.
Okay. We have an embarrassment of cute, mildly bland white boys.
Yeah. There is Hunter Doohan as Tyler Galpin, the local sheriff's son, who is a normie and works at the local coffee shop.
He seems to be her love interest.
And then there is Percy Hines White as Xavier Thorpe, who is an artist. You haven't seen him do his thing yet.
Okay, with the hair?
With the hair.
Okay, I like him, and him and Wednesday kind of know each other.
They have met once before when they were young children.
But his godmother was Morticia's friend or something? They spent time in Paris?
Mother's friend, I think.
Okay.
It was like Wednesday's grandmother and his godmother.
Okay. And there was the other boy who I thought was cute that is seemingly dead. There's something in the woods.
Oh yeah, what was it? Rowan? His name was Rowan.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something in the woods killing people because it killed the hiker in the beginning. And I liked him too because he was cute and he also wasn't afraid of them. And as Wednesday in this episode said, no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
What the thing that is seemingly the same thing that's killing people. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Not a fan. I screamed
He
both
did.
times we saw its face.
It's like a goblin, but huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My knee-jerk reaction, I'm watching it now. My knee-jerk reaction was it's Christina Ricci.
And I don't even know. I honestly
That's just my prediction. The way in which we got that information and then we're introduced to her, I was like, oh. And also, if she's like a botanist, I could believe that this is a Jekyll and Hyde situation. So that's my prediction.
Okay.
But yes, Christina Ricci is there and she looks fantastic. And I was like, didn't we just do this? And I was like, we did in Yellow Jackets, which is seemingly coming back sometime soon.
I think they just started filming.
It's sometime soon.
Next year.
I just can't with all of these. Every show now takes 3 years in between seasons. And then we watch it all on one weekend and it's not sustainable.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying I want the old world back. I'm just saying
something.
We're not at our final form yet.
Yeah.
And then there are all manner of creatures at this school. So do the normies know?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like, it's not even a secret. It's like they just know.
This is going to be like First Kill.
Yeah.
We're like 7 episodes in and we're like, oh, they just know.
They just know. No, like you find out very soon they know because.
They know that Nevermore is weird.
But they know that like the things.
That they are monsters.
Exist and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like, it's sort of like an undercurrent and it's not really like, I guess I don't know if I'm doing a spoiler. It hasn't been a big, like production up until halfway through episode 6, but like the town is kind of alive because of Nevermore because they bring in a lot of revenue. So it's like the town is dependent on them.
Okay. And their main attraction is Pilgrim World.
Don't worry, we get to see it.
To which I shuddered.
Yeah, we get to see it.
I was like, oh no.
It's not as bad as all that. But it does evoke a real like the Holy Land experience vibe because when they walk in, there's like a pilgrim man going, "Witch burnings at 2, 4, and closing time."
I remember making a joke when the Holy Land experience when I first learned of it. It was a religious theme park here in Orlando, Florida.
It is closed down now.
It is closed down now, rightfully so, because they were crooks and stuff. But I remember being like, "Oh my God! So what do they like crucify Jesus every evening at the close of the park?"
Yeah.
They did. It was an Easter special, but
do you know how like every 7 Easters in Germany they do like a huge passion play?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but it's like respectful. And
it's like culture there.
Like cultural. And instead it's just every day they like do it. There's also a couple other kids that we like see. There's Bianca, who's like the queen bee.
Well, I started to say that because there's all manner of creatures, but there's 4 groups. There is furs, which is werewolves. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Feathers or no? Furs.
No, fangs.
Fangs, which is vampires.
Stoners, which are gorgons. Yeah.
And then scales, which are sirens. They said scales, and I went, mermaids? And I thought, no, it's going to be like lizard people or something. I think that mermaids are such an untapped resource in fantasy and YA and teen stuff. And I think the issue is because the traditional image of a mermaid is like a fishtail, and that's hard to do on a budget or for TV or intermingling, which is where it seems that these are anthropomorphic, like they have legs. Do we find out? Okay, well.
There's a boat race.
Okay, well, regardless, I count this. I count.
Well, she also, Bianca had her hand in the water and it got scaly. Her hand got scaly.
Okay. I didn't love Bianca. There was something about her that wasn't really clicking.
She gets some shading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enid is a werewolf, but she's a late bloomer. Yeah. I love her claws and her color. Yeah. And I don't know. I think it's great.
It's great.
Jenna Ortega is doing very straightforward, which is what Wednesday is.
Yeah.
So I can't go as far as to say, like, I love Jenna Ortega. And so I can't go as far as to say she's, like, amazing in this, because she's just not really doing anything.
But her commitment to not doing anything is impressive.
Even though it's that, this is very much like a glitzier Sabrina. Okay. Sabrina was a little bit more...
I don't know. Sabrina was pretty glitzy. There was like so much like stuff.
Glossier,
Yeah,
Sabrina, maybe.
yeah.
Anyways, there's a little bit more happening with this in the way of budget.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay, sure. Yeah. Well, you get Tim Burton roped in as like a producer.
You get Wendy's deal pretty immediately, and it's very much like the opposite because it was like the anytime she says like I hope you have a bad day, and everyone's like, oh wonderful.
So cute, I love it.
But regardless, what I was getting at was in spite of that being a fairly obvious thing, I'm finding the writing clever.
Yeah.
Like it's making me laugh and it's striking me in funny ways. I feel like we have to mention she is going to presumably court mandated therapy.
It is definitely court mandated. They say as much. It's court mandated therapy. Which
is Ricky Lindholm, who I think Wednesday needs to give it a chance. I think Ricky Lindholm is onto something.
Yeah.
And or killing people in the woods.
Dr. Valerie Kinbot.
Yeah, I am very charmed based on one episode with a lot of things happening.
There are also 3 townies who tried to beat her up, and they are semi-recurring.
Also, her boyfriend, love interest, father is the sheriff and has history with Gomez. So I think that's good for the first episode.
Yep.
I can't wait to keep watching.
Yay!
This might take us a minute. We're in the middle of a lot of things. Yeah. There was holidays. I am moving, and it's more complicated than what it sounds like. So we will be getting this to you as we are able to, and we will be picking back up with our weekly Teen Wolf Riverdale Lost episodes come December. So stay tuned. Yep. We're coming back. It's just going to take a minute. So like and subscribe. soimwatching.com is our website. Everything links out from there. Patreon, where you can get perks. Bonus content, videos, sometimes early access when I'm able to edit them. So you know the drill, and if you don't, learn it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.